Hi, this is Cam with another King Tut Productions video. So today I'm going to talk about dating girls in the province versus in the city. So if you watch other YouTube expat video vlogs, they'll always tell you, oh, go to the province. You're going to get a better girl in the province. Province girls are just better girls. Well, first of all, a lot of times they don't define exactly what they mean by province. So if you're talking about, for example, the provinces by Manila, for example, Cavite or Batangas, those people interact with people in Manila. They know people in Manila. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, just because they live in a province, it doesn't mean they're still going to have some of those somewhat conservative values. Now, I get what they mean. Maybe the girls in the province are more likely to be conservative. But the thing is, and this is not something you're going to know unless you live in the Philippines for a while, Filipinos like to put on a veneer of conservatism. But what I have found, and this is from living in a few different parts of the Philippines, is that in reality, they say one thing and do another. So in the city, they're just more likely to be open about their sexual escapades and to post videos of themselves doing things online. But in the province, it doesn't mean that they're not doing it. I mean, I've seen in the province priests smoking. There was a priest in Batangas, I think it was. He was messing with the mayor's wife, the police chief's wife, all kinds of things, and they took him out. But the point is that going to the province is not some sort of guarantee or assurance that you're going to get this ultra conservative girl. There's also some other considerations that you need to think about when you're going to the province. So first of all, they don't speak English as well. So communication is the foundation for a relationship. So if the girl you're going to be meeting doesn't speak English, how are you going to be able to communicate with her? Also, I mean, if you're talking about a girl that has never been within outside of a 10-mile radius of her parents' house, and you're this 40, 50, 60-year-old man who has traveled to the other side of the world, I mean, what possible things could you have in common? And then the education system in some of these provinces is not exactly the best. So, I mean, it's not that she's stupid or anything like that. It's just that the education is going to be different. She'll be good at farming, she'll be good at cleaning, things like that. But I mean, if you're trying to have some sort of conversation, like maybe about philosophy, religion, or just anything that a lot of Westerners like to talk about, that's going to be a little bit harder to find in the province. Another thing in the province you need to consider is they're going to be a lot poorer, which means that the family is more likely to be asking you for money. So you'll probably be supporting her and her family. A lot of times in these foreign Filipino relationships, the girl is the breadwinner because she's married to a foreigner. And so the guy is supporting this girl's entire extended family. There was a case, this guy, he moved in the provincial girl in Negros, and after that, the dad stopped working because he was basically the cash cow for the family. That's a lot that you're going to have to put up with. And I have to I'm going to have to comment that a lot of these relationships that I've seen that are provincial, I find them to be just a little bit strange. Because for example, I went to a buddy's house a couple weeks ago in Negros, and it was interesting because I went to visit him, and he's sitting there on the couch talking to me, and then the wife is just kind of wandering around doing her own thing, and it didn't seem like they really had that much of a connection. Basically, she cooks and cleans, and he just hands over his social security check. It didn't feel like as much of a coupling as much as just a business transaction. And some guys are okay with that. But I will say that a lot of Filipino relationships in the province are also like that. The man will be out on the porch drinking Red Horse with his buddies, and then the woman will be inside cleaning. So, I mean, a lot of these relationships are really not a good deal for women, whether they're with a Filipino or an expat. But if you're looking for like a connection, like a bond, that's going to be harder in the province. Another thing you need to deal with in the province is the family. If you're going to date some of these really rural provincial girls, like for example Negros or Bicol, things like that, and they're young, they're going to need permission to go out. And most of the time, the family will insist on a chaperone. And they don't need just permission from their parents. They're going to need permission from the aunt, the uncle, the grandparents. Like the whole family has to give the thumbs up in order for you to take her out. And I had that experience dating someone in Negros. Like I was going to take her out. You know, I talked to the aunt. Everything was cool. But then she's like, well, you know, you got to talk to my other aunts too. And it was just all these layers of permission that I needed. And I was just like, pass. So, I mean, that's something that you're not going to deal with a Manila girl. She's more likely to just be a little bit more independent. She's not going to require her family's permission to go on a date with you. And she's just more likely to have things that are more in common with you. Now, insofar as cheating and things like that, people say, oh, the Manila girls, they cheat, things like that. So do provincial girls. It's just, you know, I mean, if someone wants to cheat, they're going to cheat. They may be more, a provincial girl may be more timid in front of you, but that doesn't mean that she's going to be loyal. If you don't have a good relationship, a solid foundation of a relationship, then infidelity is something that is a real possibility. Now, what I will say about especially Cebu girls and Manila girls to a lesser extent is they do have a lot more contact with foreigners, so they're more likely to have their guard up, they're more likely to be suspicious, and so there's just a couple extra hurdles that you may have to go through. And in Cebu, what I found, they really know the game. So they've had foreigners promise them a green card or whatever before, and then once they went to bed with them, they didn't get anything from it. So you're gonna get the girls that have that experience with the foreigners, but it's not like those provincial girls haven't heard those same stories. There are still hurdles, or just different hurdles. So in the city, you're gonna get a girl that has had experience with foreigners, probably negative experiences with foreigners, and so you're gonna have to overcome that. In the province, you're gonna have to get over the hurdles I spoke about. You know, not speaking English very well, low education, less likely to have things in common. So wherever you go, it just depends on what you are looking for. Now, a lot of guys, they just want a traditional marriage, and that's true. If especially if you date some of these like BGC Makati girls, they're gonna act like westernized women and want like a westernized marriage, even though they're not bringing in half the income. Pass. You can find plenty of girls like in Las Piñas, where I used to live, or other parts of Manila that aren't like that, and they still are okay with being the traditional wife, you know, and you would be the traditional husband. So don't just automatically cross out Manila and Cebu and Davao from your list because you keep hearing, oh, get a girl from the province. The most important thing is give these girls a chance. Now, of course, if she's complaining about her finances in the first conversation, she's got two different kids by two different men, then yeah, okay, no. But I'm saying, like, don't just automatically shut out a girl because she happens to be from Cebu, or she happens to live in Manila. Just because a girl is in the city doesn't mean she's bad, and just because a girl is from the province doesn't mean she's good. It depends on the girl, it depends on the person. And so I guess the point of the takeaway from this video is look at the person. Don't make dating decisions just on geography, because you're still going to run into hurdles no matter what, multicultural hurdles and things like that. And there's going to be some real boring relationships in the province. I mean, you take some of these provincial girls, they're just watching TV all day. That's all they know. I mean, that's a pretty boring relationship. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you very much. God bless.